Hi guys, it's Tori. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my latest book haul. Okay, I do want to just put up a disclaimer at the beginning of this video because I think a lot of people are going to immediately get the wrong idea, and that is that I am literally made of money and I'm buying tons and tons and tons and tons of books because I can afford it. Here's the thing. Everything in this pile except one book I paid like almost nothing for. My two main spots for getting books are bookoutlet.com, where I literally pay between $1.60 and like $5 max for all of these books because they are like bargain book copies that are overstock. And the other place that I go most frequently is Thriftbooks on eBay because they have great deals for pre-owned books. Almost all of my books are pre-owned or from a thrift shop of some kind, whether physical or online. I do want to put in a quick disclaimer that most of the books shown in this video are probably meant for ages 13, 15 plus. I don't know, I haven't read most of them, but most of them are not in the YA category. The only one that I think is a book by Brandon Sanderson that I'm going to include in this book haul. But if you're interested in some recommendations for younger readers, please let me know. This is the first book that I got in my box, and this is White Fang by Jack London, which is, as many of you probably already know if you have watched my Books That Influenced Me video, probably my favorite book of all time. And the reason I bought this, yes, I have another copy of it right over there. The reason I got this one is because I really wanted to have a really cheap version of it that was like $1 or $2 that I could mark up and write in and put tags in and not feel bad about. Because let's be honest, this one's just way too pretty. Alright, the next set that I got was the Circle Trilogy by Ted Dekker, Black, Red, and White, and this was from, you can see the Thriftbook stickers. I have had this series before and remembered that I really liked it, so I wanted to go back and reread it again now that it's been a while. If you're unfamiliar with the Circle Trilogy, the basic premise of the first book is that the main character, whose name is Thomas, yes, I remembered that correctly, Thomas is fleeing from these supposed assassins in his real life, and he has no idea why they're after him, and he stumbles into this alternate world where he is in a completely different place. He's in love with this beautiful woman. He kind of goes back and forth between these two worlds, which is really interesting, and kind of his trying to figure out where reality ends is really, really fascinating. The next book is the only book that I did not buy at Thriftbooks or on Bookoutlet, and that is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsah Faizal. I hope I said that correctly. This book I had heard a lot about, and it sounded really fascinating to me, and it's kind of about two characters that are both trying to hide their identity or who they really are, and it's a YA fantasy book, and honestly, I look at this cover, you guys. I am a sucker for a good cover. Look at that cover. And it was on sale for ridiculously cheap at Barnes & Noble. The next one that I have is Children of the Fleet by Orson Scott Card. I know literally nothing about this book. I didn't even know it existed until a couple of days ago when my husband actually brought it home from the grocery store because apparently they had it on the rack, and he was like, oh my gosh, Tori loves Orson Scott Card. I'm gonna grab this for her. So he brought this home for me. It was like $5 on the grocery store rack. And apparently this is set in the world of Ender's Game, and it kind of takes place with some other kids that went through battle school from what I can understand of it. I'm really excited to read this because I love the world of Ender's Game, and I'm really excited to go back to the battle school and see some new characters. Okay, this is one that I paid a little bit more for on Amazon just because I literally couldn't handle it. I had just finished Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and I had to get the sequel. So, Starsight by Brandon Sanderson, I still did pay less for it than I would have in a bookstore, but I splurged a tiny bit on this one because the first one was absolutely amazing, and it's Brandon Sanderson, so I do not feel bad about spending a little bit more money because I know I'm gonna love it. The rest of these books are all from Bookoutlet, and I was super excited. They had a lot of really interesting titles for me this time, and I can't wait to dive into these. The first one is called Nyxia by Scott Reintgen? First of all, this was another one that grabbed me based on the cover. It's literally my favorite colors, and it's iridescent, so But the premise of the book also sounded really interesting to me. It's a kind of sci-fi thriller based on what I understood of the description, and it follows a group of kids who are sent to this planet to mine this Nyxia substance, which is like the all-powerful thing that everybody's trying to get their hands on, and it becomes kind of a, like, they uncover this dark plot, and it's going to be really interesting, and I'm actually really excited to dive into this. My next pickup was A Black Fox Running by Brian Carter, and first of all, look at this absolutely stunning cover. This was apparently first published in 1981. I knew that it was a slightly older novel, but what really caught me on this one was that somebody mentioned that it was a very Jack London type feel. So when I read that, and I read that this is kind of the story of a black fox named Wolfgar and the trapper who is chasing him, and kind of this like very woodsy, nature-based novel, I was really excited to read it. Okay, this next one, I am literally way more excited about this than I should be, and when I read it, we'll see if my excitement was warranted, but this one is called Sky Without Stars, and it is by Jessica Brody and Joanne Rendell. Some of the reviews that I read literally said that this is like Les Miserables in space. What? The reviews seem to think that it was pretty good, so I'm giving it a shot, and look at that awesome cover. Again, I love covers so much. It's so beautiful. I literally cannot wait to read this book. I am so excited. My next one was, I think I literally paid $2 for this book. This is In the Region of the Summer Stars by Stephen Lawhead. Stephen Lawhead is an author that I have read before. He wrote the series with Hood, Scarlet, and Tuck, and he had also written some other books that I had gotten into a while ago. This one caught my interest, and I thought I would give it a try. I'll just really quickly read the description to you because I don't think I can do it justice. Ravaged by barbarian Skalda forces, the last hope for Airlandia lies with the island's warring tribes. Wrongly cast from his tribe, Connor, the firstborn son of a Celtic king, embarks on a dangerous mission to prove his innocence. What he discovers will change Airlandia forever, for the Skalda have captured the mystical Fae to use as an ultimate weapon, and Connor's own people have joined in the invasion. It sounded really interesting to me, and I was excited to read something that has fae folk in it that might be in a little bit different vein than some of the books I've been reading lately. This next one is called Dragonslayer by Duncan Hamilton. This one, again, the cover definitely got me, but the premise of the book sounded really interesting. Basically, there haven't been dragons for 1,000 years, and anyone who has any kind of magical talent is X'd. So now we have a serious problem because after 1,000 years, a dragon awakens in the mountain and starts destroying everything, and now the royalty is like, oh my gosh, crap, we need to find somebody to fight this dragon, and we killed all the Dragonslayers. Whoops. So they go find this guy who was a Dragonslayer or had something to do with that a long time ago, and they're like, dude, please help us because otherwise we're all gonna die. Okay, my last but definitely not least was ridiculously low priced for what this is. I'm excited to delve into this. It is the Warriors Anthology. It was edited by George R.R. Martin, and basically the premise of this is that he sent the prompt to write about a warrior to a whole bunch of some of the top fantasy writers in the industry right now. We have names like Diana Gabaldon, Naomi Novik, Robin Hobb. There's so many good names on this list, so it's a collection of short stories about warriors. I'm so excited to read this, I can't even stand it. I'm really excited to see where each of the different authors took the prompt and to see what kind of stories came out of it. That was my book haul for my last couple of weeks. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if there were any titles that you have read or if you're excited to read as well, please put those down in the comments, and I really hope that you have a fabulous day. I'll see you in the next video. Because let's be honest, this one's just way too pretty. Honestly, look at this cover, you guys. I am a sucker for a good cover. Look at that cover. First of all, this was another one that grabbed me based on the cover. It's literally my favorite colors and it's iridescent. So, first of all, look at this absolutely stunning cover. Look at that awesome cover. Again, I love covers so much. It's so beautiful. This one, again, the cover definitely got me.